Hello. There are a lot of people on the internet telling you that diesel is much cheaper than running an electric car. So I thought I'd run through some of the numbers and see what the actual facts are. I did a comparison not that long ago, and I found that there are some adjustments because prices keep going down or up or different, and I thought I'd take a closer look. I'm quite surprised at my recent findings, so I hope you can stick around. What I've been doing, I've been looking at obviously the cost of diesel as the base point, but also looking at what the cost is of charging an electric car at home at a Tesla Supercharger, but also at a BP Pulse ultra rapid and fast charger. Not that I'd ever go to one of them because they really are quite expensive. But if you could subscribe and like, that would be fantastic, and hope you can take a look at some of my other videos. So I did a price comparison recently on my YouTube channel, but because prices keep changing, I thought it was worth a little bit of an update. Now the problem is, of course, diesel car, we all talk about miles per gallon, and kilowatt hours are obviously different. So I've converted most of the cost to pence per mile. And in some cases, I've given what the miles per gallon should be for the diesel car, equivalent to be equivalent to the electric car. So if you start with a gallon of petrol, diesel, correction, it costs £6.64 on average. Please let me know if it's more or less. I'm sure you will, for where you are. And so the price is advertised in litres, 146. That's the average price, but no one ever says, oh, I get so many litres, miles per litre. We don't do that. The industry know this. So we're still talking about miles per gallon. So obviously you have to convert 146 a litre into gallons. Now, if we do that and then take 45 mile per gallon diesel, that costs 15p a mile. Did I mention it was 6.64 for a gallon of diesel? Probably did. Now a 40 miles per gallon diesel would cost 17p a mile. 35 mile per gallon diesel would cost 19, and the 45 miles per gallon diesel would cost 15p a mile. Well, I did have an Aldi diesel, and that averaged 45 miles per gallon, which is actually the average for a diesel car. A lot of people claim a lot more. It'd be interesting to see their numbers. I'll be honest, my Audi was a stop-start, and I thought I was getting 50 plus, but when I worked out the numbers, I sadly wasn't, and that was quite disappointing. So, if I took my Tesla to the BP Ultra Rapid, they charge 79p for a kilowatt hour. My Tesla has 50 kilowatt battery, so if I filled it up, it would cost me £39.50. Obviously, you never would. You'd never get there empty, and you never go fully charged. It would take much too long. In the real world, I get 208 miles on a full charge since I've had the car, or 240 watts per mile, and that would work out at 19p a mile, which is dearer than buying diesel at 40 and 45 mile per gallon. That's not good, but it is a BP Ultra Rapid, which I would absolutely never go to unless I was totally desperate, and I really would have to be totally desperate. But if I use the BP fast charger, it's quite a bit slower and you need a bit of time on your hands. It's a bit less, it's 59p a kilowatt hour, and so it would work out at 14p a mile, which is less than the 35, 40 and 45 miles per hour diesel. I'm not taking into account any of these discounts for paying £10 a month subscription. I mean, you don't do that for petrol or diesel, so why would you do it on that? It's a nonsense, really. So my Tesla averages 240 watts per mile, and Tesla Superchargers, the average price is 39p between 8 p.m. and 4 p.m. in the afternoon. That's 20 hours of the day. The dearer time is from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's a few pence dearer. I'll tell you that price in just a minute. So the average range is 208 miles, 240 watts per mile, 50 kilowatt battery. So charging from 0 to 100%, which again you'd never do, would cost me £19.50. So if we divide by 208, and that's 9p a mile, that's the cost of charging at a Tesla Supercharger from 8 p.m. to 4 p.m, 20 hours. Now, if you then charge at the dearer time, peak times Tesla Superchargers are 4 p.m. to 8 p.m, it would cost you 43p a kilowatt hour, and the cost is then just under 10.5p a mile. Now, a gallon diesel is £6.64, and you would have to achieve 73 miles per gallon to equal the Tesla 9p a mile cost, or 64 miles per gallon to equal the 10.5p Tesla cost per mile. The thing is, a few people charge all the time at Tesla. Most people charge a bit at home and a bit at Tesla Superchargers. I've gone months without charging at a Tesla Supercharger, but then might use them quite a lot on a road trip. Now, I did a video on the subject a few months ago. I concluded then, if you're getting 60 miles per gallon from your diesel, you're very close to the Tesla supercharging price. But I rounded the figures up, and I was actually doing Tesla an injustice. And as you can see now, it's not 60 miles per gallon, it's more like 73 and 64. Now, ZapMap, I thoroughly recommend it. It's a great app to use. I'm always using it, although most of the time I'm using Tesla, I must confess. But their prices are higher than the real Tesla prices. To see the real Tesla prices, you've got to actually see and look on the touchscreen of your Tesla. So let's now go to charging the daily rate at home. I use Octopus Energy, 30p a kilowatt hour, which is fairly typical. That would work out at 7.2p a mile. That's coming down quite a lot, and equating to someone with a diesel car paying $6.64 a gallon, they would then have to achieve 92 miles per gallon. Now, charging at Octopus night rate, the price is now 9.5p kilowatt hour. When I started less than 2 years ago, it's 5p, so that's doubled. That works out at 2.25p, just under, per mile, and that's unbelievable prices. A diesel car would then have to achieve 290 miles per gallon, and I think that puts it in perspective. Now, I've seen comments from people on YouTube that the nighttime rates don't exist anymore. They went out years ago, and they really don't accept that Octopus Go do have a nighttime rate. In fact, lots of them do. EDF have them. It's a different price. I think it's a bit dearer. Haven't checked, should do. I think it's slightly longer, but slightly more expensive. Okay, now, the nighttime rate is from 12:30 to 4:30. That's 4 hours. And it'll get you out 40 miles if you use a 3-pin plug or a granny charger. You might have to install a fast charger to get the advantage of those 4 hours at the low rate. The cost is between £600 and £1,000 for a home fast charger, or put another way, it's less than 6 months for my previous diesel Audi A3 for repairs and servicing. And I don't have those costs with my Tesla Model 3. Okay, so a quick rundown of what we've done so far. So a gallon of diesel costs $6.64, 45 miles per gallon costs 15p a mile, 40 mile a gallon costs 17p a mile, 35 miles per gallon diesel costs 19p a mile. The BP Ultra Rapid costs 19p a mile from a Tesla, not applying any discounts or 10p a month subscriptions, whatever. The BP Fast Charger will cost me 14p a mile, which is less than the diesel doing 35, 40, 45 miles diesel costs. Tesla Supercharger off-peak, 9p a mile, and a gallon of diesel would then have to get 73 miles to equal the Tesla price at 9p a mile, or 64 miles at the peak time at 10.5p per mile. Charging at home, 30p kilowatt works out at 7.2p a mile. Diesel would have to achieve 92 miles per gallon. But charging at night at the off-peak rate at 9.5p per kilowatt hour, and at just 2.25p per mile, a diesel car would have to achieve 290 miles per gallon. Now, so the conclusion is, and of course the diesel is a very efficient car, there's no question about it. If you're getting some of the others, especially the bigger Mercedes, BMWs and some other brands, a lot of the legacy, they're not very efficient, and you look at them and some of them look as aerodynamic as a brick. The figures won't be as good, and that's why you get a lot of people on YouTube saying don't buy an electric car, don't buy an electric car. So what are they driving? A Porsche or a Mercedes or a BMW. Very rare to see someone with Tesla, but it happens. You know, the car's not perfect. But anyway, and it's also true, I know what you're going to say, not everyone can charge at home. But everyone or anyone can talk to their local council, or they could talk to their landlord about putting in a charger, their council to putting in a charger. They could even talk to their boss where they work. Can they put in some chargers? I'm sure they're all thinking about this, and they won't be at all surprised when you suggest it. So why not do that? Thank you very much for getting this far. I think I've only done one edit this time because I'm fed up with doing edits. I'm trying not to read off the screen. Please let me know what you think in the sort of comments below. I hope you can subscribe and like, that would be fantastic. Please don't forget to take reusable coffee mug wherever you go. Thanks ever so much. See you next time. Take care. Bye.